So the following video is part of my 6-week yoga beginners course. It contains the Sun Salutations that we do for week 1 and 2.
Let's begin. You're going to come to the front of your mat. You can have your feet together, hip width apart, or take them really wide if that feels good for you. We're going to start in something that we call Tadasana or mountain pose. That's our first standing pose. So for me, I prefer my feet about a hand's distance from each other. That's where I'm chosen. I'm going to start this way so you can see. We're going to really root our feet into the floor. We're not going to lean too much forward or too far back. We're going to find a nice equal balance. We're going to pull up on the inner foot, the inner arch, pull up on the front of the thigh. You're going to tuck that pelvis in, squeeze the bum slightly, turn that tummy tight, shoulders back and down, lift the crown of the head to the ceiling. And we're going to bring our hands to heart center. This is the first standing position, which we call Tadasana. We're going to take a big deep breath in and take our hands wide and lift our arms overhead so our palms meet above our head. And we're going to take the gaze to our hands if that feels comfortable. We're going to keep the ribs tucked in so that we're not overarching and that our tummy stays turned on. From here, we're going to take our arms wide, flatten the back and fold forward from the hip. We're going to bend the knees so we can stay nice and straight. I'm going to turn so you can see the side. And you're going to relax all the way down to a forward fold. So to get your hands to meet the floor, give them a real big bend, and that's probably going to feel better in the back of your legs anyway. From here, keeping the tummy turned on, we're going to breathe in and lift our head and chest halfway so that we have a flat back or a tabletop position. You can have your hands at your shin or on your thighs. You're going to bring the shoulders back and down. You're going to reach the crown of the head forward. And then you're going to breathe out, relax all the way down. Release the knees, bend the knees. This is called forward fold. From here, we're going to step back with the right leg, then the left. We're going to keep the hips high and bring them towards the back of the mat. So right, then left, and then we're going to bring the hips towards the back of the mat, and we should look like an upside down V, and this is what we call a downward dog. I want you to really bend your knees here. You'll feel your back probably straighten the minute you bend your knees. You're going to push your hands into the floor, the feet into the floor, and my dog has joined me. And when you're ready, you're going to bend the knees, walk the feet into your hands, bend, bend, bend. You're back to that forward fold position. From here, with the knees still bent, you're going to take your hands to your hips, and you're going to very slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, straightening the legs, lifting the tummy and the spine. Your head comes up last, shoulders back and down. We bring our hands to the center. So we're going to do that one more time. Are you ready? Lifting your hands overhead, breathing in, reaching tall with your hands. And breathing out, take your arms wide, folding at the hips, flat back until you get to halfway, and then really relax into that forward fold. Bend the knees. Maybe you can get a little longer here now that this is your second go. Lifting the hips. Keeping a slight bend. You never want to lock them out. Always want at least a mini bend. And if this is too much for you, a big, big bend. From here, we're going to breathe in, lift the head and chest halfway, pinning the shoulders back, tabletop position, hands rest wherever is comfortable, the tummy is turned on, you're stretching the back of your legs, and breathing out, folding back down. We're going to step back with the left leg first, then the right, keeping the hips high into that downward dog position. Now, don't worry about this position too much. It's really technical and we will be going over it later. But while we're here, just have a couple of breaths, play around, bend your knees. How does that feel on your back? Does that feel better? Then this is the position that you should take every time we come into a downward dog. You want to widen the collarbones, let the head just drop out of the neck, pushing your hands into the floor, your feet into the floor. You're trying to get your heels to the back of the mat. And when you're ready, bend the knees, walking into your hands. Staying in this forward fold for a moment. Just getting a little relaxed in there, maybe a little bit longer. You can rest your chest on your thighs if that feels good. Your hips tipping forward so you get a stretch at the back of your legs. And then we're going to place our hands on our hips, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Head is last, tummy is turned on, shoulders back and down. Bring our hands to heart center, Tadasana. Have a few breaths here. This is the sun salutation we're going to do for week 1 and 2.